Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. I am Adrienne. I live in New York City. I love playing with makeup, and today is week 7, I believe, of my just playing around with my makeup for the week, figuring out my likes and dislikes. And this week was insane, and I wore a full face of makeup every single day, which is very, very unusual for me. I say I normally wear makeup maybe 4 days out of the week. I do give my skin a break, or I'll wear some very light product, but I don't wear a full face of makeup. I wanted to do so because I really wanted to test out all my MAC products that I had. I thought before I start, because there's so many products here, it would make sense to level set and give you some background as to who I am and what my skin type is and sort of what I'm looking for in products. So I'm 44 years old. I live in New York, which is right now slightly cool, but there's humidity in the air, and I have combo skin. So oily in the T-zone, extremely dry around the perimeters. My skin is not dehydrated though, and it also is highly sensitized or reactive. So for me, what that means is that sometimes there's fragrance or a chemical in a product and my skin has an immediate reaction to. So I'm always on the lookout, especially when trying new products. I have, of course, fine lines around my eyes and around my mouth. I have some sunspots that, I like to soften with makeup, but I don't tend to like full coverage makeup. And especially during most of the times of the year, I'm a face sweater. I perspire from my face. So I've just grown accustomed to not wearing heavy makeup because of those factors. So I hope that's helpful to kind of just level set if any of that rings true. And also you should just know that so that you know what I'm looking for in products when I approach products. As I mentioned this week, I really wanted to tackle a lot of my MAC products. That was my initial intention, and then it kind of morphed into something else throughout the week. And the reason I wanted to tackle MAC is because they are ending their Back to MAC program at the end of March, and I wanted to bring in anything that I might have to swap out for products before they end that program. So let's start off with primers. I'm still using my silicone-free priming moisturizer from Good Molecules. This one is excellent. It's just the right amount of hydration, and I feel like it plays very well with the majority of my foundations or skin tints. It layers really, really well with other skincare products. I have a sample that I use of the Benefit Porefessional Lite. I loved this. This was fantastic, and it is definitely on my wish list to pick up. I felt like it was very light and it did help fill in pores, but it was also very cooling and layered really well, and it did really help some of the foundations I played with. I had tried the original at some point and I just thought it was a little too heavy. This was a nice kind of compromise. Usually don't wear concealer, but I did have a MAC Studio Fix concealer in NC20. I thought it was okay. I don't use it enough. It's really quite old, and it's not that great for under the eyes or things like that. It's not creamy enough for me. Where I find this has been useful in the past has been to cover up blemishes, but I feel like the concealer that I liked from my collection did both really well, and that is the McGrath Sublime concealer. This is an L4 for me. I just put one little dot under each eye, and this is really, really nice. It is not significantly brightening on me. I think I probably have to go one shade lighter, but it's more of a true skin match for me, which is what I prefer. I don't like concealer to be too lightening. I use this especially on days where my eyeshadow look was a little too purple leaning, and I wanted to make sure that my under eye looked really bright and healthy so that it didn't detract from the eyeshadow look that I was wearing. And so that's when I really use this. So I like that I have this in my collection. I haven't used it nearly enough, so I don't know that I'm over the moon about it yet. I have to use it more and more, but I'm happy to have it. I do have to just make sure that before I apply it, I have my under eyes really moisturized, and then I feel like it sits really pretty. I then top it off with the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Blurring Under Eye Powder. I use this very lightly. It is truly almost like a talky powder. It is white, 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 and really finely milled. And I think it works really well in setting the under eyes. As I started off the week, I wanted to revisit my MAC Face and Body. I had two colors, N1 and N2. N2 is too dark for me. The color is just off. So I really focused on N1. Unfortunately though, these products have been discontinued and they've been replaced by MAC Studio Radiance. And I have Studio Radiance in N2. I tried all of them. I tried all of them in different ways, and I really prefer the original Face and Body. It has like no shimmer in it. It just worked well with my skin, especially that N1. So I'm just very sad that they've actually discontinued this. And so I don't want to fall further in love with it. I rather just part with it now. I've had them for a long time. And the Studio Radiance for me is just a dud. I really don't like it on my skin. I feel it's way too glimmery, and the color is also off for me. So even though they said that this is just a kind of a repackaging or rebranding of this product, it is absolutely not. So after trying that, I realized that I had the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in Medium, this powder here. And I had used it to help set the perimeter of my face when I used the MAC Face and Body, but I decided that this might make a really beautiful foundation, and it actually does. I moisturize my skin really well, put on my sunscreen and everything, and then I went in with this, and it just created such a nice, beautiful layer of coverage. This powder, to me, has a glow to it, but it is not shimmery at all, and it can be used really effectively as a light coverage powder, which on some days that is all I'm looking for, and it didn't look powdery or cakey. So I really enjoyed this. I'm so glad I have it. It's funny that this is medium and it's for my skin because I'm right now pretty light, but like at the tail end of fair into light, and that it's medium is just interesting to me. But I really do like it, and I can't wait to continue to use it and really put it up against some of my other powder foundations. By this point though, I was pretty frustrated with my skin and the fact that I didn't have a really great base product to play with. And a few weekends ago, I did something crazy, and I walked into a Nordstrom's and I walked out with a Chanteicaille foundation, which is a little nuts. This is the Future Skin oil-free gel foundation. I wear mine in Alabaster. I was color matched in store. This is such a gorgeous product. I will use this in a future Get Ready With Me so you can see it go on. It is, I don't know, something like 60% water, fragrance free. It's beautiful, and you could put it on with your fingers. That's how I do it. And it just makes my skin look gorgeous. It blurs fine lines, it blurs my pores. It's really light coverage, light medium coverage, but it's really, really pretty. However, when I was using it, I realized it sort of reminded me a bit of the Nudestix Tinted Cover Foundation, this one here. I am almost done with this one. This one exploded on me. It actually comes out of the side now. You could see it right there. Then the actual pump, the pump broke a long time ago, so that's pretty annoying. But it's a very thin gel-like formula. This color's a little off. It's a little too peachy for me, but it has that kind of watery vibe to it where it feels like water is just evaporating off of your skin and it's leaving this really pretty coverage. It's a beautiful product. The thing is, when I actually applied this on half my face and the Chanteicaille on the other half of my face, I realized that this one doesn't do me any favors in terms of where I'm at in my skin life and journey. It highlights all my wrinkles, it highlights my pores. There's a sheen to it that on me is a little unflattering. So for that reason, I'm actually going to get rid of this one. This one, like I said, is almost finished. But to show you that I really did love that Nudestix product so much, I actually had 2 backups of it. And this just teaches me not to buy backups because skin changes, my needs change, and I might actually just prefer something else. And so I have to remember that. So I didn't want to dedicate the rest of my week to Chanteicaille. I know I love it, but it's also very expensive. And I organized my foundation drawer and I realized I hadn't really given this a shot. And this is from Dear Klairs. It is their Illuminating Supple Blemish Cream SPF 40. I remember buying this a while ago, never using it because I had tried a sample of it. So impressed with the texture and the coverage that I actually bought the entire thing. I have been wearing this the rest of the week and I am wearing it today and it is beautiful. Now the one problem with it is it comes in one shade. It's like a tinted sunscreen. It does not have a lot of shades. I will show you the shade that it is. It is very pale. But whereas other Korean brand tinted moisturizers or tinted sunscreen has like a really strong gray cast, this one is much more neutral leaning, but this one, the undertone is just right for me. It is actually quite brightening. It looks beautiful on all day long, provides just enough coverage for me. So if you are light, fair light, and maybe more neutral leaning, you might really enjoy this. Another powder I'm still using, and I use it to set my T-zone a lot of the days, is the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Banana. Use a light hand though, because it can look cakey if you use too much of it. For bronzer, I am actually wearing 2 bronzers on my face because I wanted to show you all that they're very similar. The Jones Road New Bronzer. This is Dusty Rose. So this is very popular right now because it's a pink leaning bronzer. And I am wearing that on this side of my face. It's very pretty. You can also wear it as a blush, like a neutral blush. It's a very pretty product. It's a very thin product. So you could see it here. It's quite pigmented, but you put it on and it just blends really easily. So you can create a very sheer layered wash of it. The bronzer it kind of reminded me of, and I have forgotten how pink leaning this one is by Flower Beauty. This is the Heatwave bronzer in Sunrise L1, this one here. And I'm just putting it on top. And yeah, it's maybe not as pink, but it has pinkiness and it has a tinge more maybe bronziness to it, but it's very, very similar. This one, you might not need the other one, or if you have this one and you want it to be a little bit more pink, then you might really like that Dusty Rose color. I know the Jones Road comes in a few other colors and I would be curious to try others. We're gonna get to blush. I wore a different blush every day, which is crazy. Almost all the blushes are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. On my cheeks right now, I have the LORAC Color Source Buildable Blush in Chroma. I have this blush here. It is such a beautiful color. So I have that on my base, and I topped it off with MAC Glow Play Blush in Totally Synced. And that's this one here. So lavenderish tone with lavender. I love these Glow Play blushes. You do have to know to go into them. You can go into them with your finger and put them on your cheeks very heavily. You can do that, or you can use a brush. My preference is actually just to use my finger and blend it out really well. I find it to be very poor blurring the formula because it's this putty type of formula. It's really beautiful. And this, I've never used a LORAC blush before, but my wish list is growing very long. I just think it's such a beautiful blush, super pigmented, yet easy to blend and lasts all day long. And it's not chalky. Like, it's not a blush that sits on the skin. It really starts to melt with the skin, and I enjoyed it immensely. The other two Glow Play blushes I played around with this week were Cheeky Devil and So Natural. So Natural is very popular because it is like a nudie blush, and Cheeky Devil is more like a baby pink, peachy pink. Both of them I really, really like. Two other formulas of MAC blushes. I have the Mineralize blush in Warm Soul. I had never tried it. It is so beautiful. It is like So Natural in its tone. It has more of a sheen to it, so it just has this glow from within. I really, really love it. The other blush that I tried is Gingerly from their Sheer Tone blush line. That's this one here. Again, very similar to Natural. It's a little more pigmented, but it goes on like such a beautiful, finely milled wash. I had never heard of this line, the Sheer Tone blush line, but I'm so happy to have bumped into it. I would totally try another blush. The only blush I did not like is the new one from Tarte. This is the Blush Tape. I have mine in Peach. This is more of a highlighter. I'll show you what it looks like. So that's it there. And then when you put it on, it just kind of blends away to a very sheer wash. So you have to keep layering it up. It almost takes on a metallic quality. And I find it to be like a little patchy too. I was just very unimpressed. And actually I've never tried the Charlotte Tilbury blush wands, the, you know, famous Pinkgasm, Peachgasm, all of that this is supposed to be compared to. But I just, yeah, I mean, look, it's like barely any product and really just unimpressed, very unimpressed. On my brows this week, I use the Stila Sketch and Sculpt Brow Pencil in medium. This one here, I love this pencil. It is like one of those fine pencils, but what I really love about it is the shade. It's like a taupey brown, and it's just perfect to highlight the gray and the brown in my hair. Like, it's just a perfect combo. I really do enjoy it. And of course it has the little spoolie at the end, and I just think it's a great brow pencil. So I would absolutely consider purchasing this one again, and I'm gonna have to make that decision soon because there's not a lot left in it. I really have enjoyed this pencil. An eyeliner I tried to use this week is the one from, I think it's the Flick liquid liner from Revolution. I have mine in a dark brown. This is one of the best applicators for people who are not very good at applying liquid liner, which I am one of those people. The issue is that I really don't like the way that the color kind of sits. It has kind of a glossy satin finish, and it's not very flattering on that part of my eye, so I'm gonna declutter this one. But if you have smooth eyelids and you don't mind a satin finish on your liner, you might really like that one. Another liner that I tried this week is by Victoria Beckham in the color Fig. It's her Satin Kajal liner. This is a really beautiful color. It's an eggplant color, but has more vibrancy to it, and I really love her eyeliners. I really love her eyeliners. They're so creamy. They have a little smudge tip at the end, which helps you really blow out your eyeliner. And I just find them to be immensely flattering, especially if you have age-related concerns. So that is the color Fig. I also use the MAC Eye Kohl in Teddy. This one here. This is like the third week I use it. I really love this. This is like a bronzy brown color, but I love it because it just stays put. It's really easy to blend out as well. And I find that it's a very flattering color because even though it's brown, that bronziness, even though there are no like glitter sparkles, it's really just metallic, kind of give a little amp to a look without it looking so heavy. Sometimes if I use dark brown or black, even in my waterline, it just closes my eyes and it makes my eyes look very small and heavy, makes it look heavy. Whereas this one has just a little bit more lightness, brightness that it doesn't do that. So really enjoying that. It's the only MAC liner I have. And then on some of my looks, I use the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Amethyst Hour. It's this pastel pinky purple lilac color. Really pretty, really brightening. For mascara, I think I have come to the end of the MAC stack. I really loved this when it was fresh into maybe halfway into its life. Towards the tail end, I found it to be a little messy. Like parts of it had dried out, parts of it were really creamy, but it kind of dried at different points and then it would flake off. I did not have that experience so the first couple of months with this product. So I don't know if it just had reached the end of its life too soon. I need to be better about opening a mascara and then remembering when I opened it and using it within the 3 months, because I'm very bad at that. And now the new mascara I opened is actually a mini. It's the little Tartelette tubing mascara. I've only been wearing this for about 4 days now and I'm really enjoying it. I'm wearing it right now. I like the way my lashes look. It has like a bit of a natural effect. So it's lengthening, it colors, it is volumizing, but it's not in an exaggerated way. So I feel like this is a nice natural looking eyelash. The one thing though, I don't think it's really properly tubed on me. When I have removed my mascara at the end of the night, it just kind of comes off like regular mascara. I do use micellar water first as a starting point and it just comes off gently, but it doesn't come off in those like tubes. So I don't know if I'm not applying enough. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or right, but I guess tonight I'll try it with just the warm water and see if it comes off. This one, I guess we'll say I'm still on the fence about it because I need to use it more, but so far so good. Eyeshadow primers. I used 4 eyeshadow primers this week. 3 of them I love. 1 is okay, but not for me. The one that's okay, not for me, is the Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. I don't think this had enough adhering power. It didn't really do anything for my eyeshadow look. The one that I've been using most consistently over the weeks, and I'm still using, is the Behind the Scenes Eye Primer from LORAC. This is the one that normally comes with the eyeshadow sets that she sells. I love this. This makes my eyeshadow so vibrant. It also is so easy to apply. It feels like an eye cream going on, but then creates a really nice tacky base. And it has been amazing at keeping my eyeshadow in place. It really did a great job. It is as good as, if not better than, my Smashbox Intensify. I'm still loving this. I'm still using it. And in fact, what I realize is you kind of have to warm it up a little and then take out some, emulsify it a bit in your fingers and then pat it on your eye. And then you get much more of a creamy experience as the LORAC one. And this also has excellent wear, keeps your shadows in place. I used a third one because some of the shadows from the eyeshadow palette I used required a little bit more power, so I used the Too Faced glitter glue right towards the tail end of my look when I was going to put a real sparkly shimmery shade on top that I know needed some help, and this is really good. Also, to help my eyeshadow out and also just to set my face, I have been using the MAC Fix Plus, this one here. I use this to set my face. I don't think it really does anything. In fact, I feel like it tightens. It makes my face a little too tight. Where I really love using this is to help eyeshadows become more sparkly. We'll put this on my brush to help the shadow apply more foil. That's really why I have this mini. It's, for me though, it's not an ideal setting spray. Let's talk quickly about the eyeshadow palette. I played around with the Huda Rose Quartz palette. This was the palette I wore all week long. It is what's on my eyes right now. I am wearing the shade Cherished, Self-Love, and a little bit of Mantra, just as a little bit of smoked outliner. This is such a beautiful, beautiful palette. I had so much fun creating looks. I'm gonna start the reel of all 8 looks I created. This is my 9th look. I find that the palette has a really good combination of mattes as well as shimmers. It also has a lot of kind of chunky, foily shades. These in particular are very, very kind of chunky. So this is where I would need to use that glitter glue to make sure that they stay put. This is that funny shade that is sort of creamy, has the pigments in little balls mixing around. But I actually love the look I created with this. I just kind of put that over my eyelid and I use that as a sticky base to allow some other shades to kind of pop over on top. It never truly set completely, so it is the kind of shade where it will kind of bunch up and crease, but you could just tap it out. It's a cream shade that just doesn't set fully, which could annoy some people. This shade was probably one of the most disappointing. This is the shade Quartz. Considering the palette is called Rose Quartz, this one is just very flat, and you're playing with other colors that are very foiled. You could see that, or are really insane in just their sheen, even like their depth. To have a color like this, it's just very flat. But other than that, there's some warm tones, there are some cool tones. This is like one of the smartest colors to have in a palette. It is neither a gray nor a plum. It's sort of this in-between color, and it really just brings to life a lot of the other shades, and had no issues blending out the shades. It was just a pleasure to work with. We have reached the part of this video that I was sort of dreading, which is the lip category. I tried so many lip products this week. First, let's start with the easy category. These were all great, fantastic kind of lip treatment. The Bobbi Brown Extra Lip Tint. This is in Bare Pink. It's just in special packaging. I just rediscovered my love for this. It's like the best regular lip balm, especially when you want to give your lips a break. This is just the easiest lip balm, and I just love the slight pink flush it gives my lips. This, which is from Essence, it's the Extreme Care, and this color is sort of like the baby pink color. It's such a hydrating, wonderful product. I'm going to put a little bit on. It has a little bit of a bluish tinge, but the feeling of it, the vibe of it, the way that it feels on your lips, it feels so hydrating, so cushiony. And it has a slightly sweet scent, but nothing that irritates my lips. And it just makes my lips so juicy, and I love it. Another great find is this one, the Soft Balm from Jason Wu. This is the first time I used any products from Jason Wu, and I really like this. If you like the Kopari oil, the lip oil, this is very, very similar to that. This is very, very oily, but it feels great on the lips. It has only the slightest color, but it kind of goes away a little bit. Like, you're not gonna really see that color on your lips, but it feels so nice and hydrating and healing on the lips. This is by Lancome. It's the Absolute Mademoiselle Balm. I got mine in Dewy Orange. I actually picked this up at Nordstrom Rack, and I can't return it. I love the color so much. The fragrance is very, very similar to the YSL lip balms, the colored lip balms. It is the exact same scent. It is the exact same product. And it's just this high shine, really luxurious feeling balm. The issue is I stopped wearing YSL because it started to dry my lips, like prune my lips because of the fragrance. This is what I mean by you evolve. When I turned 40, my lips dried out. They became drier, and their reaction to fragrance in lip products became much more severe. And that's what happened to me with YSL. YSL was my #1 lip brand. My #1 lip brand in my 20s and 30s. I loved YSL. And it was heartbreaking when I couldn't wear the lip products anymore. And this is the same thing. This lip product, although beautiful, when you put it on, it feels so wonderful. 10 minutes on me and my lips feel like sandpaper. And here is another lip product I would normally not buy, but I have been enjoying this one. This is by LORAC. It's called Holy Lips. Holy is right. This will burn your lips. This is a lip plumper, but for some weird reason, I find it really satisfying and I find it very effective. The 2 times I put it on, it's a really pretty gloss. The gloss effect is high gloss. It's not too sticky, and it really does plump my lips. And over that, I can apply another lip product, and my lips look so full. It fills in like any of the lines. I don't know how it does it. It feels like it is a spice, but like a cayenne spice, not a cinnamon spice, more of a cayenne leaning spice, but there's a slow burn to it. So maybe it's more like a wasabi spice. I can't figure it out, but I do like it. I don't have any other lip plumpers in my collection, and so that will be kind of like for special occasion, but I do enjoy it. Lastly, I tried on entire MAC lip collection. I will swatch them in groups and quickly tell you why I love them, why I don't love them. So this is the first grouping. This is my favorite lipstick of MAC all time. This is Hug Me in their Luster formula. This is a newer shade to me, but I love the color. This is from their Black Panther collection, and it is the Story of Home. It's in the amplified formula, and it's really a beautiful nude, slightly richer. This one's slightly more pink in their Cream Sheen formula. This is Cream in Your Coffee. I actually rescued this from decluttering because of a subscriber actually who asked me about it. When I started to re-swatch it, I was like, wait a second, why did I declutter this? This is such a beautiful color. So this is Cream in Your Coffee, and this shade here is in their Love Me lipstick line, and that is Coffee and Cigs. It's definitely has more brown in it, but also some deeper rose. These are some of my favorite nudie kind of shades, and they're just beautiful. You will see though, I did not mention the matte formula here, or even the satin. These are also my favorite formulas of MAC lipsticks. I just think they're creamy, they're opaque enough, but they're really friendly on lips that have lines, which mine do. For another 4 that I love, this is Soar in the matte formula. This is one of the rare mattes that I have in the MAC formula, and I kept. I find that sometimes the MAC matte formula is more drying than other times. I think it just depends on the color. This one here is Paramount. It's in the satin formula. Much more comfortable to me than the matte, and I really like this color. This one is Bricola. Bricola is a beautiful color on, it's such a really unusual color, like a reddish, pinkish, brownie color. It's really, really beautiful on. I had a mini of it and I purchased the full size, and this is the amplified formula. And this is the Luster formula of Chili. And here are the last 2 lipsticks that I'm keeping within my collection of MAC. This is in the Luster Gloss formula. It's Succumb to Plum. I just lightly reapplied it, but this is what I've been wearing the whole video, really lightly. I just love this shade. It's very misleading, but when you apply it, it could be just such a beautiful sheer wash. And this is iconic. It is Lady Danger in their matte formula. Here's where I wouldn't mind wearing the matte formula, because in a shade like Lady Danger makes sense, and I have the cutest packaging of Lady Danger. It's their Valentine's Day packaging. So those are the shades of MAC lipstick that I am keeping. Now let's go through the shades I am parting with. These three are in the matte formula and they look so drying on my lips. And this is in the Love Me formula. This is DGAF. I do love this chocolate, deep chocolate color, but I have a couple of shades in my collection that are very similar to this one. So this one here is Whirl, a very iconic shade. It's just on me, it looks too drying. This is Velvet Teddy, another iconic shade, just again, too drying on my lips. And this one here is Hope, Off the List. This is one of the newer colors from the, I think this is for Lunar New Year, and that is this shade here. So it's very pretty, slightly more peachy. Not sure why they called it taupe. This is the last bunch. These two are in the Love Me lipstick, and actually I am keeping this one. I don't know how it made it to this group, but this is E for Effortless. It's a beautiful blue red, and in this formula I don't mind wearing it. This is Shamelessly Vain. It's just a bit too orange for me, and if I'm gonna wear this color, I'm gonna just go for Lady Danger. This one here, I thought I was gonna love. This is like a toasty, orangey color. It's called Local Celeb. It's in their Luster formula, and the one next to it is why I don't love it. This one is actually from Revlon. It is Glaring Coral, and there's just something about this that is unflattering on me, where this one is flattering, and they're so similar. So if I'm looking for a toasty, translucent orange color, I'm gonna go for the Revlon Shine formula in Glaring Coral. Whew, that was a long one, but I am so happy with everything I accomplished this week. This is the pace in which I am happy trying my products on, trying everything in my collection on, and decluttering mindfully. This is how I have to do it in order to be sane and to feel like I am creating a real curated collection that makes sense for me. So I hope that you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions regarding any of the products, I'm more than happy to answer down below. Consider subscribing so you follow me along this journey. And can I share one more thing I bought this week? I bought this man, him, and I love him so much. This is a Winnie the Pooh Cuddlies, and I saw him in the airport, and then I thought about him too much, and so I went online at Target and I bought him. And Winnie the Pooh is my favorite character of all time, and yeah, he has brought me so much joy this week. I sleep with him every night. I can't believe I'm sleeping with a stuffed animal again, but you know what? I don't know why I stopped, honestly. Just brings me so much love and comfort. So yeah, that's really been my favorite purchase of the week, probably of the month, and likely even the year. So anywho, I hope that everyone's having a great week, and we'll chat soon. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.